y'all? This is your one-stop ORCUST combo guide. We're going to start off with, well, the ORCUST Gem Knight list. We're going to start off with one Gearsu. It's a very simple combo. Your normal summon Gearsu, not in the center monster zone. And then you activate his effect, you dump the Harbor. If I can find the Harbor, yeah, you dump the Harbor. You activate Gearsu's effect and you summon tokens to both sides of the field. I'll use 2 master deck slots that I'm using. Summon 2 tokens. Remember, your opponent also has a token. You link the token off into Galatea. You pitch one of your blanks. I'll do the extra draw. And then you search for the Orchestrated Babel. It does get negated. It doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. This gets negated. You just still combo off. Doesn't really matter either. Just use your extenders. You link 2 into Gala, and then you use the effect of Gala AI to banish to summon herself out. And then you use the effect target the banished Gearsu. You shuffle him back and you set Crescendo. Then you activate Harp's effect. You banish to summon Symbol Skeleton. You link 3 into either Protect Code Talker or Long Gearsu. For this case, I'll do Protect Code Talker because there's some shenanigans you can do with this next turn. You then make into Emerald Gearsu. You have to set Crescendo. You still need your Gearsu, so you banish, you summon Galatea. You activate his effect, you target your Harp Horror. The reason why we shuffle back the Gearsu is because this is also a starter and extender. So you can shuffle back any of your 3 blanks or this card if you want. If these are like 3 really good cards for turn 2. But I'll shuffle back the draw. No, I'll shuffle back the Ash. That way you can keep the Harp Horror. So you get some options. And this card is no longer a known card, so your opponent can't just be like, hey, what do I know? You take control of the token back. You make Gearsu. You take this back. You make a link 2 into IP Masquerena. So what does this accomplish? And also, don't forget to activate the Orchestrated Babel. So what does it accomplish? You have follow-up, 2 cards, a Negate, a Snatch Deal, IP Masquerena, and Ascend with more follow-up engraved. So how the next turn would go, your opponent would draw. You don't have to do anything just yet, but you could just do this to summon out the Gala. If you kept the Harp, you can pitch it to search for the World Legacy card, but you really don't care about it because all you're doing is pitching the Harp. That's the only thing you really care about. So if your opponent does anything like, tries to drop E or something, Crescendo, that's also follow for next turn. If you want to use that now, you can return the Gala and then shuffle back you can shuffle back this actually, and then Snatch Deal. But if you wait a little bit, you can banish the Harp, summon Gearsu to send another Harp for next turn. And then you use Enlil, you add this back. You can either shuffle back the Harp, but you probably already have one probably, so you shuffle back the Harp, you Snatch Deal something. And now IP has 2 different options. Right, now that you have enough monsters on the board, you can either IP send everything that you've used for, where is he? Allied Code Talker. You could, and then you would have the banish, and then you could still have the Gearsu, and you summon this guy off his effect, but you have to chain the Gearsu. But since we Snatch Deal a monster, where was that? IP was here, you were here, you were here. Since we Snatch Deal the monster, you can just use your opponent's monster and keep the Gala AI. Use your opponent's monster for ally code. effective ally code, he would have to chain the symbol skeleton to summon Girsu. But yeah, you can still summon the Girsus and then either send something, and then you can special summon the Protect Code Talker. So this is untargetable. It can't be destroyed by card effects. And on top of that, it's an omni-negate. You can recycle this. You just create an infinite engine. And this is the Interruption Engrave. So that's combo one. The other option, you can just go into SP. SP is just generically the option that just, removal stuff. But if your opponent keeps playing after all those interruptions, you can just get into one more omni-negate. Next combo we're gonna look at is just one Nephirim. One Nephirim. This is the Gem Knight combo going first is admittedly pretty weak, but it gets stuff done. I think you kind of need the Pachycephalo lock, but I kind of find a way to get two omni-negates. You normal summon the Nephirim. Nephirim's effect's gonna add the Gem Knight Dispersion. There's a way to do this combo with Dispersion. Both of the effects are not, the card is not once per turn, but both of the effects it uses are once per turn each. So you activate Dispersion. Dispersion is gonna add the Gem Knight Hollow Core. This is the quicker way, but actually for here, I'm actually gonna search the Gem Knight Armadillo. You can actually, it doesn't matter which time you do it, but I'd rather do it at first. So you use Nephirim's effect again. You use her other effect to normal summon the Armadillo. Armadillo's effect is then gonna search the Hollow Core. Because it gets negated at this point, you don't really care. You're gonna use the effect of Hollow Core. You're gonna dump, what's it called? Gem Knight Fusion. To summon the Hollow Core. The Gem Knight Fusion dump is cost, so you do that first. You link to, with whoever monster's in the main monster zone. Keep your main monster zones free, I'm telling you guys. Phantom Quartz effect. Add Dispersion. You immediately activate the Dispersion. Once again, with all the Gem Knight combo. This is also summon, this is like one summon. 1, 2, 3, that's 4. So this will be summon 5. You have an omni-negate, so you're nib proof. You send the Nephirim. You send, you send the Quartz. You summon Gem Knight Seraphinite. Effective Nephirim and then effective Quartz. Jailing 2, so add the Hollow Core, you pitch it immediately to summon back the Nephirim. I'm probably not right there, probably like right there. So here is a good point because one, you're nib proof, so you can't be nibbed. And after this point, you have a free interruption. You have an extra normal summon. So if you happen to have a ORCUST card in your hand that you do not want to, you didn't want to use right away, you can then go to ORCUST combo from here, and you have 4 different extenders. Or you can continue. You link to here into IP Masquerena. Use the effective, well, actually first, just make sure you get some as much advantage as we can. We banish this, we add the Gem Knight Fusion. We then use the effect of Phantom Quartz, shuffle back Quartz and Nephirim to the deck. And then we summon Lady Rose Diamond. So here, if you chose a different line, instead of going into IP, you could have used one of them to go into Phantom Quartz and then use 2 to go into this guy with Protect Code under it for an extra omni-negate. This right here, you got a few options. You can use these 2 for Avermax with an omni-negate, or you can use those 2 for SP, for a banish, well, 2 banishes actually, and an omni-negate. But you kind of have some options, so let's kind of rewind to show you what the other line would be. The third option, let's say I still had them banished. Well, actually, I would have 2 of these on the field. I would have these 2 engraved. IP would be there, and this would be the board. So hypothetically, if you had this, you would use these. Oh, actually, yeah. So use these still for IP. I don't think you have enough space for IP though, actually. So you would kind of in a weird spot. So you would use these two for. Well, I guess you can't get the Lady Rose Diamond with this line. You just have to get the regular, non-targeting Omnigate. You get the regular non-targeting Omnigate, so I guess if you're worried about Imperm, you can use that line, but I don't recommend it. You would kind of need another extender to go for that and make it work, because you would get 2 Omnigates if you had an extra extender. But yeah, that's the Gem Knight line. And now here are the different ways in which the ORCUST line connects. So let's say hypothetically you had the Nephilim again, and you had either Harp Horror or Gearsu. The difference between Gearsu and Harp Horror in this situation though, well, I guess they're not really the same. If you have these two, you want to lead with Gearsu. If you have these two, you want to lead with Nephilim, because then you pitch this and then you don't need it. You don't need the extra body on field. So, but you know, either way, leading with Nephilim is just like a high risk, high reward kind of thing. Because if this interrupts, then you can just go straight in here. But this is safer because you know, you can commit to some plays already with ORCUST, and then this is less likely to be interrupted because they're like, okay, like if they interrupt this, then you know you're scot-free for this. But if they don't interrupt this, then you just get so much advantage. But either way, you're getting it. So I'll show you. So we normal summon the Nephilim, right? Nephilim is gonna go ahead and add Dispersion. Dispersion adds the Armadillo. Normal summon the Armadillo with her effects. You add the Hollow Core. Hollow Core is gonna dump Gem Knight Fusion, if I can find it. And then special summon himself. U-Link 2, you know, same old, same old. Boom. Effect to add another Dispersion. You fuse on summon 4. I mean, I guess you can do this live if you're scared of Nibiru. But who's scared of Nibiru at this point? Send you and send you to summon the Seraphonite. So at this point, if you have, this combo is where it differs. So if you have your, Harp Horror in hand, right? On this effect, you would go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. You would summon and then send the Harp Horror, and then you would just keep going. But since we don't, we add this. We summon, we send, and then summon her, right? And then now we normal summon the Gearsu. Gearsu is gonna send the Harp Horror. We're gonna end on the same board. We link 1 into Gala. Before we use Gala's effect, we banish the Quartz. We add the Gem Knight Fusion. We send the Gem Knight Fusion to search for our Orchestrated Babel. We link 2 into our Galatea. Don't do anything with the Galatea just yet, because we're going to use Quartz effect, Phantom Quartz effect to shuffle back Quartz and Nephilim to get our end board piece, Lady Rose Diamond. So now we have like pretty much some of our ORCUST pieces online before we even are dark locked. So we have options. We link 2 into, well, link 4 into Enlil. We banish the Harp Horror. We summon the Symbol Skeleton. Remember, we don't have tokens on the other side of the field, so we link 3 into Protect Code Talker. We banish, summon Gala. Gala is going to get made. Well, hold on. First, we activate Gala's effect. Shuffle back the Harp. Into Crescendo. But actually here, You don't even want to do that. You want to shuffle this back by some. You want to banish, summon this, then shuffle this back, because harp is still more flexible. Shuffle that back. You set the crescendo. You use you into a XC summon into symbol skeleton. You link into your allied code, and then allied code is gonna get your protect code back. And after you summon off of allied code, you're locked in summon, so that's why you have to chain all your summons before to after that. You still have the same board, you still have the same graveyard. You get you get a snatch steal, a pop, 3 negates, and if you activate your babble, you add this back, right? And then you still end on the same stuff. It's just that you use your ORCUST stuff later after you nib. So if you for some reason know your opponent has nib, or if you're scared of nib, you would have to lead with the Nephilim combo. And yeah, that's it's combo number 2. The combos differ a little bit depending on what cards you open. So let's say I open these 2, the combo's gonna look a little different, especially if I lead with the ORCUST line. So yeah, let's say I lead with these 2, right? And then let's say I lead with these 2. You already know how the line looks if we use Nephilim first. Let's say we still lead off with Harp Horror. So we lead off with Harp Horror, we link away into Gala, right? Let's remember I have 3 blanks. So we use Nephilim. We use the effect of Gala to send Nephilim to add the Babel. We immediately chain Nephilim. Summon, we send Nib. We send, and then we add off of her, we add the Gem Knight Dispersion. Activate the Dispersion to search Gem Knight Armadillo, or Gem Armadillo. Effect, summon. This is got a little linked off anyway, so I don't care if it's in Center Monster Zone. Add Hollow Core. It looks the same, we just have 1 less body. That's why we're gonna have to alter the combo a little bit at the end, because we don't have the extra bodies. So we get those, we link 2 into Phantom Quartz. Phantom Quartz is gonna add Dispersion. Boom, Dispersion. Last time we can get interrupted. Send you and you. Summon Seraphinite. Effects of Quartz. Add you back. Now, we can use the extra normal summon to summon this, but you could also hold it in your hand for follow-up. Then we use you 2 for a link into, link into Gala. And then you use the effect of the Gemini Fusion Engrave. You banish to add, because why not? Then you use Phantom Quartz. Shuffle you and you back to the deck. Keep in mind you're paying 1,000 to do that. And you summon Lady Rose Diamond. Now you're ready for your Harp Horror. You use Harp Horror's effect. You summon the Symbol Skeleton. Oh no, you don't summon Symbol Skeleton. I'm sorry. You summon the Gear Suit, and then you send the Symbol Skeleton. That way you have more gas. You can use these. I'm gonna do a different line than I usually do. I'm gonna go straight into Protect Code instead of going straight into the Rebanish, Summon You. Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's actually a bad idea. So we always use these 2. See, I'm learning things too. So we always use these 2 for Enlil. We banish, summon you. Don't worry, we're still gonna get some negates. We banish to summon Gala. And then we use Gala's effect, target you, shuffle you back, and then you get the crescendo. As long as, and keep in mind, I forgot to mention this, but as long as you have a fusion monster on the field, you are protected from at least one form of interruption. And in this hypothetical hand, I had call by, so that's just not getting interrupted. We got plans here. We make Dengirsu, get this back, and then we make IP Masquerena. Now, if you've noticed, this looks like our regular ORCUST board, but with an Omnigate and some more graveyard setup than usual, right? Because we don't have the extra 2 bodies, we can't go into access code. I mean, allied code. So we activate this. We have an extra normal summon. We can use it. Oh, we never went to protect code talker. That's actually a really good point. So we're gonna have to rewind. I completely forgot about that. Link 3. Actually, I wouldn't link this away, actually. We kind of need that. Boom, and then boom. So I guess we kind of do have to use our normal summon, but if you just, I guess you don't have to, but depends on your preference. If you want to follow up with the Gem Knights for next turn, I guess. Link those boys away. I guess we'll link you two into Protect Code Talker. Yeah, I guess we don't have gas. I guess we do have to just use the regular ORCUST board, no Protect Code. I mean, we don't need Protect Code. It's just an extra form of insurance. No, we would link that away and then keep this. It's just an extra form of insurance. So it doesn't, dictate the negate. So how this will work is, you would grab this. We would probably shuffle this back to do the take. Gala AI would ditch this at some point to add the World Legacy card, the World Crown, the championship winner itself. Still have one that you still have the negate, you still have the crescendo. But it'd be the same strat as last time. Like you would, let's say hypothetically, you would use this, right? Or you would snatch deal, doesn't matter. Get another body on board at some point. Or even if you can't, you have the Harpor. You can just declare IP, chain Harpor if you really want to get out of it. But hypothetically, you would use IP's effect, link all you guys away into allied code. But this time you wouldn't be locked into special summoning. So then if you want the negate, you would banish an ORCUST monster. I'd say banish this actually, so you can recycle it. You would get Gala, and so you have the third negate. But it would kind of be like a spring negate off of IP, and then you still have the effective Enlil to send in the card. So I guess you would get more pops, but the negate's just a little wonky, and you have a little bit more follow up. So then there's one more combo, which one is, it's just like if you open up like the 2 cards where you kind of are lacking in resources, so you would open up Dispersion. If you open up Dispersion, the search effect is once per turn, so you have to search either Nephirim or, you have to search Nephirim and then you have to go straight into Hollow Core, so the combo looks a little different. And then you would open, let's say you open these 2. So you you have a little less bodies, but you still have some good expansion. Let's say I have the blanks. Ash will do. Say have some blanks. So, what I would do here, activate Dispersion to search the Nephirim. Normal summon Nephirim effect to add Gem Knight Hollow Core. Effect of Hollow Core to summon himself by sending Gem Knight Fusion. And then you link these 2 away into Boom. Gem Knight Phantom Quartz. You add another dispersion off of Phantom Quartz, summoning a search effect on summon. And then you use dispersion. Now keep in mind, Nephirim is going to be kind of goated here because you send you and you send, where's the quartz? Send quartz. And then you get your Gem Knight Seraphonite. Affect a Nephirim, affect a quartz, add the other Nephirim back to hand, push summon this Nephirim by sending this heart. Now you can also use her effect, of course, to normal summon, right? So you do have the extra normal summon still. So if you opened up if you opened up Heart Portal, then you can still if you opened up Gears, you can still go, but here we don't do that. So we're in a tough spot because we kind of have to immediately go for IP here because we don't want to dark lock ourselves before we get out the Lady Rose Diamond. So we go into IP immediately. So kind of similar to the previous Gem Knight combo. You banish for fusion to add that back to hand. And then you use Phantom Quartz, shuffle you two back into the deck. We don't want to turn off our negate, so that's why we have to get the Nephirim's Engrave. And you summon the Lady Rose Diamond. Now you activate Harp's effect. You summon ORCUST Mech Knight. You send the Symbol Skeleton. You send the Symbol Skeleton, and then you link one into Galatea AI. You send the Gem Knight Fusion. You add Orchestrated Babel. Now you can activate this right now, because I know I'm going to forget, so I'm going to activate the field spell now. But this is already a longer video. So then we are going to, we have options here. So let's link into Protect Code Talker, and then we banish you, summon you. We completely forgot about our Galatea, low key, which is actually why I'm gonna go back, because I completely forgot we need to summon that card. That's there. So we can probably actually just use these two for, no, we can use these two for link to into Galatea AI. Not Galatea AI, the regular Galatea. You begin to use the AI to banish, summon you. And then we use you, shuffle you back, and then we set Crescendo. Like clockwork, we set Crescendo, of course. We use you two for, since we already have IP, we're kind of in a good spot. You make Enlil. We then use you to banish to get Galatea. Now here is an interesting scenario because we pretty much have no more gas. We used our Seraphonite, so we can't just add something back in the normal summon it. Unless you want to use the Lady Rose Diamond instead of Seraphonite, then you have the extra normal summon. So you kind of have to pick between. Normally, what I would do is I would make Ding. It depends on what you want, but you can make Ding, right? And then use U2 for a summon into SP, right? And then call it a day. But normally that's not the case. So here, actually, me personally, I would kind of keep that there. I would use these for a link summon into Protect Code Talker. And then I would pass. So this is untargetable, right? So I don't lose the Imperm. I have the 3 cards in hand, and I have 2 Omnigates, right? And then it's kind of the same game plan as last time, but you don't need an extra monster. You can just link someone with IP at any time. So, obviously I would add this at the end phase because why not? You can kind of afford to add an extra monster. So this is kind of like cool because you can just say your opponent does something where you need to use IP right away. IP into ally code Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 into Gala AI. Summon the Gala AI, summon Protect code. He's a Towers monster. You're not losing out much on the Snatch deal because you kind of just took it the pop, right? And then you could send you for next turn to add back. We'll add a World Legacy monster, which will always be the World Crown. So you still get your 3 negates. How you would kind of have to do it though is use Crescendo first, then use the Tribute. But you would always kind of use Crescendo first, or try to use Crescendo as much as you can, because that still plays around the talents. Use Crescendo first or second, never use a third. And you still get the pop because it was stuff from the extra master zone. A non-targeting send, by the way. And you still get 4 cards in hand. So yeah, that's the Gem Knight ORCUST combo guide there. Very scuffed, but you got what you need to know. I'll do one more test. I'll do a test hand for you. So we can see. Hopefully I don't brick and embarrass myself, but the deck plays 15 starters, so I doubt we'd brick. But like I've been playing ORCUST for a while, but this is still a relatively new deck because I have to learn how to play Gem Knights. Because everyone's playing Gem Knights, but no one's playing with ORCUST. I feel like Gem Knights are going to be the new Fiendsmith and the new Mitsurugi. Like, just splashable on anything. I'm thinking about splashing it in, like, Phantom Knights. Because they can make the Phantom Knights link 3 pretty easily. And, you know, rank 4s. So, let's cut the deck. Alright, 5 cards. Heart of the cards bless me with a hand that's not shit. Okay, so we just opened Dispersion and 3 blanks. So, Dispersion. The safest combo is always to go with the Nephilim. You can search the rock. You can search the Gem Armadillo from this, but I never recommend unless you searched it from this. So Nephilim effect to add Hollow Core. And then you use your effect to send the Gemini Fusion. And then here I can use her effect to, actually no, I'm not going to, I'm gonna save it. I'm going to link 2 into Phantom Quartz effect to add the Dispersion. Right, and then use the Dispersion, because you're on summon 3 and Nib does not matter. So you send Nephilim, you send, well, you normally would send the Quartz, but Quartz in your hand, but so instead, we're gonna send the Hollow Core. Send that Gem Knight Hollow Core. And then a Nephilim's effect, gonna pitch the Quartz, summon herself out. Unfortunately, no extra normal summon, but who cares? Yeah, low key, I probably should have used the Quartz so I can get the search back. So we add back the Nephilim. And then we pitch one of our blanks, which would be Nib. No one uses Nib. Nib is literally only there for the cross out. Oh yeah, and we get the Scowl. Effects to normal summon. We make IP. And then we banish Add back the Gem Knight Fusion. You see, I've played against a player who negated this. Like, wasted one of their negates to negate the add back of Gem Knight Fusion. I'm just like, okay, dude. It was a Malice player. So he Gem Knight Quartz. Shuffle back. Rose Diamond. So we have 2 interruptions here. Yeah, I'm gonna set and pass here, actually. So I would probably, how I would play this, I would try to keep the Phantom Quartz if I was running the OTK package, but I'm running the Going First package. So if I was running the OTK package, I would keep the Phantom Quartz. But since I'm not, I can use these for either SP Little Knight or Mega Knight Crusader Abernax, depending on the situation. If they know it, if they just use their talents or something to like do something with one of my Gem Knights, or like to draw extra cards after I negated them with one of these, then I would make Crusader Abernax, because the chances of them outing it are just little to none. They would need like a non-targeting send unless they're playing another ORCUST deck or like Malice or something. Then I have to worry about it. And if they play a Malice, I get to spit a card. SP is just 2 interruptions with itself. You banish the card, they respond to it, you banish this and something else. So, you know, it's still pretty good. The Imperm here is pretty good. You have the Ghost Ogre for any shenanigans, and Lady Rose Diamond protects. So, yeah, that's a good little test hand. It's not like a crazy 3 negate 2 interruption board I just showed you before, but you know, it's serviceable for the duel. It gives you a lot of follow-up options, I'll say that. Because if you keep the Nephilim and not normal summon it, you have stuff for extra for next turn. We'll do another one. We'll do one more. Round out the bid. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say my opponent has Ash and Imperm. Okay, nice. So Ash and Imperm do not matter. So how would I play this? So like I said, game plan, get this resolved. So Gem Armadillo, affect the Gem Armadillo. Let's say they got Imperm. No, and then they would Ash that. You would Ash that. Brilliant Fusion. If they Imperm that, I don't even know what they're doing at this point. Brilliant Fusion. Nephi. You kind of have to send the Hollow Core here, unfortunately. Where's my Hollow Core? There, Hollow Core. And then you get Seraphonite. Fight the Nephilim. Pitch Quartz. No, I would actually pitch Nib. Summon Nephilim, add Gem Dispersion. GKD. Oh, my bad, twin. Effects to normal summon. Link you 2 away into, well, keep in mind she's at 0/0. Where is my Quartz? Phantom Quartz. Phantom Quartz, add another Gem Knight Dispersion. Gem Knight Dispersion, effect to search. Gem Knight Hollow Core. And then you use the effect of Hollow Core to special summon himself. The reason why I'm not saying anything's getting negated is because if they do, it'll be just Hollow Core. So let's say they tried to Ash that search, Hollow Core. And then we have another Hollow Core for next turn. So I doubt any smart player would just allow that to happen. And then you also give me fuel for my fusion summons. So I would pay 1,000, shuffle that back, and then I would add, I would summon the Lady Rose Diamond. And then I wouldn't need my Gem Knight Dispersion. I could just use the rest of this. You can just use this for recursion or more gas next turn. You see, this is moments like these where I wish Appaloosa was still legal. What do we do? Well, actually, the obvious play here, I would use protect code into a link 5 into allied code, and then allied code would get the protect code, and then you would have a negate. See, this is what I mean when you say extra recursion. So you would have the extra recursion, play it through 2 hand traps, and yeah, everything's good. So yeah, that's the combo guide.